Hello Leos, and welcome to Embrace the Moon Tarot in your September 2017 reading. So I was sitting here shuffling, trying to tap into the vibrations of Leo, and I just feel like I'm anticipating. Not quite sure. Yeah, just anticipation, and it's kind of invigorating in a way. There's a little bit of energy that's coming with it. The kind of, the sort of energy that comes with when you experience excitement. So, anticipation. And I feel that a lot of you know exactly what it is that you're anticipating. You have something specific in mind that you are anticipating. And it's creating that excitement, that energy that comes from excitement with this sort of anticipation. So let's go ahead and finish shuffling and see what sort of energy and vibrations you can anticipate for the month of September. I'm doing a little bit of a different spread, but it seems to still be giving just about as much as I've been getting with the other spread that I've been doing. So if you've been watching for a while, you'll notice this is slightly different than the previous videos. And if you've been watching for a while, thank you. And if you're new, welcome. Past, present, strength, focus, potential obstacle, and potential ending for the month. Let's move the potential obstacle out of the way for now. Focus on... Wow, you have a lot of majors arcana. So there's an overall sense that you are where you have been wanting to take yourself. A lot of times we say you're right where the universe wants you to be, you're right where you're supposed to be, right where destiny or fate wants you to be. You can take any one of those if you want to, but I feel that the more precise way of saying it is you are where you've been wanting to bring yourself, or you're coming up onto completing something that's going to put you where you've been wanting to be for a while. So, okay, past. Recent past, very recent. I feel this is something very, very recent. Some changes has occurred. The sort of changes that you may not have been a participant in creating. The shift, creating the vibrations that caused the change to occur. But you are, once it started, you took advantage of it. You recognized the potential that these shifts and these changes could mean for you. What kind of new ground that you could break as a result of it. So the beginnings of it may not have been something that you initiated, but when it started and you saw it, instead of allowing yourself to get overwhelmed with the concept of the devastation that this could be, you saw what you could build from it. You saw what could become new as a result of this chaos. So you went with it. You did what you had to do to move with it as the energy moved. And it's still, the vibrations of this change are still kind of going. So you're kind of still somewhere towards the beginning of it. There's still some things that need to be complete as a result of it, but you already know this. You already know that this is just the beginning phase and that this is going to be a little bit of a process, but you're embracing it. You're all about trying to figure out how you can utilize this to take you to the next level, to take you where you want to go, to have some things fulfilled. Quite inspiring. And I can see now how you had that feeling of anticipation and the excitement, because it's just beginning, but you can see where it has the potential of going, and you're filled with that excitement that comes with knowing that you can grab the bull by the horns and go somewhere with it. So that's kind of where you are coming from, and you've moved into Four of Wands. So you have begun building something as a result of this. And what you are in the process, and it's still at the beginning, as I already said, but you can already see the stability and the moments of celebration, personal wins, if you will, that this is going to provide for you. Again, and I know I just kind of said this, but this Four of Wands is sort of validating what I've already said when I was focusing on the energy that was coming from that Tower moment and kind of permeating into the present, into the now. The Four of Wands is validating what I've already stated. You can see where this is going. It's something new that you've built upon, but you know it's just the beginning, and you feel like where this can take you is going to create just multiple moments of personal wins that you can just continue to build on and build on and build on. And it's kind of the new beginning celebration. A lot of times the Four of Wands is depicted as wedding celebration, so that having that happy moment that in celebration that occurs at a wedding. And it's the same kind of concept as it is a new beginning. It is a foundation that you're building upon, and the potential, all of that you would experience as a newly married couple is what you are experiencing right now as far as the energy comparison is concerned. And there really isn't much more I can say about that. I mean, it seems so simple, but I mean, I'm just going to keep repeating myself, so I'm just going to move on because I can't say it any other way. So your strength for the month is the Devil card. And this is tapping into, your strength is going to be tapping into that side of yourself you often tell to be quiet. The side of yourself that you don't allow come forward, you don't confront, you don't have a conversation with. But it's the side of yourself that, it's like the secrets that you keep from even yourself. Tapping into that to get a better understanding of those personal wins that you want to come up to, that you want to work towards. And then releasing, obviously, those which doesn't serve you anymore. But getting to know the side of yourself that you often don't allow to come to the forefront because you feel that it's not an acceptable side. Those things that you know will bring you pleasure and joy. And recognizing that there's nothing wrong with enjoying and pleasuring many facets of life. It's the obsession that can taint the experience. So as long as you keep a really good balance so that you're not becoming obsessed, or you're not getting to a point where that is consuming or ruling your decision, but you are actually ruling and in control of those moments of pleasure and joy. That's where your strength is going to be coming from. Recognizing what it is that really makes you feel those good, for lack of a better term, those good highs that you can get through life. No drugs involved, just those moments that you can experience. And recognizing what it is that makes you feel that, so that you can find ways that you can fulfill that experience. But balance is the key. You want to find it so that you are in control of creating those moments, but not that it's controlling you. That's your strength, tapping into that side of yourself that feels and feeds on joy and pleasure, but not allowing it to control you. The focus is decision making. It has to do with, again, the changes that has occurred. And you've made some decisions already. Like I said, the biggest one being that you recognize the shifts that were occurring, the rumblings that were taking place. You saw it for what it was, and you just embraced it, and you've been running with it. And your focus is the decision, not just the decision that you made there, but in every moment after that, that continues to build that foundation of stability, and the opportunities to have those personal wins, the opportunities to be able to enjoy the pleasurable things of life that you are in control of, not being controlled by that side of you that feels like it can come out and enjoy life in its fullest potential, unjudged. Because a lot of times, sometimes we struggle with decisions in that side of ourselves because we've been ingrained to perceive that it's not worthy, or it's not good enough, or the definition of those things that we decide are fulfilling for us are not acceptable. Obviously within reason, and obviously within our moral code and ethics, but you know what I'm talking about. So tapping into that and just making those decisions, so that every decision that you make is continuing to propel you to those moments of personal wins and celebrations that you can experience, that you know you're going to continue to build a new life on, continue to build from this tower moment as you continue to move on into the future. The obstacle is, and I do believe, and as I was commenting on the Devil card, I immediately got to where I was drawn to this card, because this is a form of balance. It's the Temperance card, and the obstacle is going to be that struggle of that balance, of knowing how you can pursue those things that give you those personal highs and uplifting moments and feel good moments. But being in control of it, that's going to be the problem. Knowing how to balance it, knowing how to, when is it enough, and when is it too much and you need to back off? When have you taken in or consumed too much to the point where it's in control of you? That balance of knowing what is the perfect amount at the right time, that's your struggle. And so be very careful and be very mindful. Don't get overwhelmed with the constant desire and take the reading as in, well, my strength is looking into those pleasurable moments that make me feel good, make me feel on top of the world. And so then I'll always give yourself permission to take advantage of those opportunities when they come, because you still have to be in control of them. Just because they're in front of you doesn't mean you have to indulge. You want to indulge at the perfect time, the perfect moment, and in the perfect amounts. That's going to be your obstacle, knowing how to be able to take in those moments in the right amount, at the right time, in the right moment. So be very mindful as you're moving forward, because if you don't, you have the potential of losing focus and knowing which decision you're supposed to make, which road you're supposed to be going down, what action you're supposed to be going forth with next. It has the potential of taking you off of focus. So be very mindful that you are creating that good balance when you're making these decisions. If you play your cards right, you have the potential of having the end of the month coming up on the action that you've begun. The vibrations, like I said, from that tower moment are going to continue to move throughout the month of September, and you're going to continue embracing it and moving with it and making decisions to build on, to create that foundation. The fire from that action is going to continue. So you're going to feel that momentum continue, and you'll still feel that momentum as you come towards the end of September. But you also, if you've done well with getting that balance or maintaining that balance and making these choices, for life fulfillment and personal pleasure, as well as building that foundation, you can be in control of that fire. You can be the one who is manipulating the fire so that it is making things grow and manifest as you desire, which is some of what you saw as the potential, which is why you embraced the change in the first place. You have the potential of experiencing that if you've done your job well, if you've been mindful, if you've really kept into keeping that good balance for the right ingredients of pleasure and hard work. You can continue to have that wildfire continue to burn through the end of September. But you can be in charge of it, playing with it, helping it to manifest what it is that you've seen is potentially available to you. So let me go ahead and pull a final card to sort of give you a little something to carry you through as you enter into and finish the month of September. Unstick the stuck. And I feel that this is letting you know that you have to be mindful of your decisions and realize that there's still work to be done. And I think this is kind of giving you a little something to carry you along when like I mentioned, knowing that balance, knowing how you can be mindful of keeping that perfect balance, putting in the right ingredients of pleasure and enjoyment at the right moment so that you're not missing out on the opportunities to take action to work. This is kind of that little, when you think, but my reading said I should enjoy life. The other half of that is unstick the stock. And you got to realize that this takes work. The Tower movement and the vibrations that have come with it and the shifts that have come with it, and sometimes when you think of the rubble that comes with such, you figure that with the Tower card, you've got some of that rubble coming down. It's still going to take some cleaning up that have to be done. You have to balance, unstick the stuck, and realize that there is work that still needs to be done. There's still things that you have to move, adjust, shift, put energy into. So again, the balance is the key. Knowing how to meet your allotted necessary amount of joy and pleasure without it keeping you from meeting the decision making and the actions that you have to continue on this whole process and pushing this energy to move and keep moving from the beginning of the month through all the way to the end, and where it can take you not just to the end of September but onward into November. I feel like some of this has been, it's going to be continue to propel it forward through the rest of the year. But you have to play your part. And if you get to where you get too much into being happy and pleasurable and kind of get a little too leisure with your own personal participation in this, you're going to get stuck, and the energy is going to get stuck, and things aren't going to be moving and propelling forward. So unstick the stock. So remember, if you've had too much joy and pleasure, like Thanksgiving dinner when you want to fall asleep afterwards, in America anyhow, sorry. You eat so much food and you don't want to move. If you get to that point, you've probably enjoyed that pleasurement just a little bit too much, and it's time to get unstuck. All right, Leos, that's all I have for you for this month. I hope you have a good month. Make it a great one, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.